Well, thanks for coming out this morning. My name is Jacques Cabra. I'm one of the two producers of Santa Barbara Entrepreneur. Summers McKay does it every couple of weeks. I do it every couple of weeks. What we do is we try to bring together some of the community, interested entrepreneurs, business leaders, investors, to talk about whatever you're working on, whatever project you're involved in, things that you're needing. And we always showcase a speaker who talks about their story and how they started, where they're at with their business. And today we're going to feature Joel Stagis from Avocados in a Box. I want to tell you all a little story. So my background, I'm now currently a consultant with entrepreneurs under the New Spheric brand. New Spheric is one of the principal sponsors of Santa Barbara Entrepreneur, along with First Click, an online marketing agency that also sponsors Santa Barbara Entrepreneur. So about 12 years ago, I had the pleasure of working with a very dynamic entrepreneur named Michael Dubin. Anybody know who Mike Dubin is? Okay, I want to tell you a little bit more about Mike Dubin. I bet all of you will know who he is. Maybe not by name, but by another personality. So we worked on his first business called Leapfrogs and basically launched it. It was a business model of a social network designed for independent travelers. So if you were going to go to Thailand for a month and you were looking for other people who were on their own and wanted to connect and maybe travel with them, you could use Leapfrogs. So he launched that business. We had about 50,000 subscribers and users, lots of sponsorship, big presence at South by Southwest, and business kind of went on to escalate, and then eventually it failed, like it happens. His next business had to do with the subscription model, which is today a very popular business model, the idea that you can sell something on a monthly basis. And so ask yourself, in terms of an idea for a business, what would you be willing to spend $10 a month for every month, $20 a month for every month, $30 a month every month? It's a great residual model. It's a great way to manage your business and cash flow. And it also allows you to really lower your supply chain costs. So he told me about his concept, and a couple of our other partners and people that were involved in that first business shared with it. And I kind of scratched my head and I thought, I think you're going after a really saturated market. I don't see how you're going to do anything really impactful with this. So I don't know, I don't think it's going to work. Well, that company was sold 10 days ago to Unilever for $1 billion, and it's called Dollar Shave Club. And Mike Dubin is the man that you see in those really funny commercials talking about how simple their business model is. We have this product, we ship it to you every month, you always have fresh razors, you don't have to worry about going to the store or paying high prices. So Joel, I think, is cut from that cloth in his model. He has been an entrepreneur in the past. This isn't his first rodeo. He was actually one of the first employees, or were you actually an owner in that prior company?
I was an employee, but I had some ownership too, so okay.
He basically built the sales and marketing for a startup, did really well with that, owns a little bit of equity in that company, continues to consult. But since April, Joel has been peddling avocados across the United States, and now they actually ship avocados, again under the subscription model, to 50 states. And it's kind of impressive to think that he's done this in such a short time. He's cash flow positive, he's got that kind of national presence. So he's going to tell you the entire story here in a moment. Please welcome Joel Stagis.
Thank you. Good morning, guys. It's great to be here. I'm very impressed with the building. This is a cool setup for little coffee talks before we all go to work. So my background, I've been in Santa Barbara about 12 years. I started, like a lot of you guys, come to Santa Barbara for school, and then we don't want to leave. We come for a job, we don't want to leave. So I moved out here in 2004. My background is pretty broad, so I have a number of different stories to tell about what I've done in town. As a lot of folks realize that living in Santa Barbara, you have to kind of be nimble and find opportunities and work for different companies to make it here. So I have kind of a diverse background. My first gig was actually for the Better Business Bureau of the Tri-Counties in this area as a sales guy, helping them launch programs and start different affinity marketing programs to help them generate revenue. So that was back in 2008. I graduated from UCSB in 2007. So my background has kind of taken many different paths. About 2010, I got started with software, working for some software companies locally. The first gig was at Eucalyptus Systems, which was acquired by HP in, 2013, I believe. And then after that, I've kind of hopped around to a number of different organizations. The most recent one was Ansible, which was acquired by Red Hat in 2015. So I've hopped around a lot. I've had different experiences, many different businesses, and now I'm working on a couple of projects. Avocado Box, which is the primary conversation today, as well as Encore, which is a new software company that just started in the last couple of months. So Avocado Box, how did we get there? Avocado Box is actually a pivot that we kind of just randomly moved into. We started a company last summer called GrubSurf, which was the Airbnb of home cooked meals. It's kind of a far-fetched idea. We had this idea to basically revolutionize neighborhoods, connect folks to their neighbors for food, for meals. My wife and I are really into eating good food, and we always get tired of cooking. She's a great cook, I don't want to discredit her at all, but we like to go to friends' houses for dinner parties and whatnot. That was a great idea to try to connect folks. We launched that in September of last year, and we hit some roadblocks legally with the health department. We scaled that to 5 states, a number of subscribers, a number of users actually buying and selling food, and then we got a knock on the door saying, hey guys, you can't do this. In fact, you can do it, but your customers or your users can't do it. So we're going to track you, and we're going to shut your customers down, which was kind of alarming to us. So what that did is it really kind of put the brakes on our whole entire philosophy, is what we wanted to do as a team. Really, let's simplify this. Let's try to pivot and do something entirely different and simplify. Avocados came on the radar through just basically being in Santa Barbara the last 10 to 12 years. And what I found really interesting about avocados, the last several years we've been giving away avocados to friends and family on holidays. And the appreciation that folks show you when you give them avocados is something kind of crazy, actually. I don't know what it is about that, but it's really interesting. Like if you give somebody a box of avocados, they really, really appreciate it. And it's always kind of set home for me. I was like impressed with that, So when we were going through this tough time of pivoting away from GrubSurf, I proposed to my business partner, Phil. I was like, Phil, let's just sell avocados in a box and make people happy. It makes so much sense to me, but let's test it and kind of see how it goes. So this was last spring when we were in this kind of transitionary period, and we started off late spring, just a website, kind of a proof of concept, and we really, really focused on the types of folks that that consume avocados or consume health-oriented products on a regular basis. Kind of like Jock, what you mentioned about, find a market that's willing to pay $10, $20 a month for life. Not a novelty, but for life. This is a consumable. This is a product that they actually are building into their lifestyle. And avocados just connected with me from the standpoint of that market, that demographic of folks. So the playbook for what we've done so far, we're very heavy in social media with Facebook ads, and the timing for our business and the platforms that exist to actually reach our ideal customers is like perfect timing, because Facebook allows us to go out there and just basically fine-tune our exact type of customer that we want to sell our avocados to. And you can go in and basically manage your ads in a way that is extremely detailed. And Jacques, as you mentioned, we've grown pretty quickly. I think since we launched, 4.5, 5 months ago, we already have over 22,000, 24,000 likes and a number of sales. I think today we've done about 800. We've onboarded about 800 customers in the first 4 or 5 months that we've been in business. But I credit that not to like our idea or anything. It's just really the timing of the marketing opportunities that you have. So the playbook for us was all about finding the right customers, finding the right folks that we assume, these are assumptions that we assume are eating avocados every single day. And that's what we've latched onto. We've had lots of bumps in the road. This is a brand new company. So what we've learned very quickly is that Californians, especially like folks in Santa Barbara or SoCal, they're probably our worst customers. We have churn like any subscription business. If we're providing a product that really is easily accessible to Californians, they're not going to stick around. So that's been our highest churn, is from California. But then again, folks in the Midwest, the East Coast, Alaska, these cities, these states that don't have access to avocados, that's been our best market so far. and our lifetime values from a subscription standpoint is the strongest in those areas. Let's see.
Those 22,000 likes on Facebook are all organic.
We do organic and paid, but there's not a call to action in our ads to actually like, hey, like our page or anything like that. We're putting our ads out there, and it's been interesting. It's actually the way that we really get a lot of exposure is friends, people that see our ads that are like obsessive about avocados or obsessive about whatever their demographic is, like paleo, CrossFit, healthy eating. They're vegans, they're vegetarians, folks that naturally are eating avocados every single day. They see our ads and they go crazy. So they see our ads and they start sharing. They start tagging their friends in the comment section and liking our pages. So it's been pretty exciting to see that and kind of organically spread. So it starts with a paid ad. It definitely starts as a paid advertisement, but it naturally kind of progresses into organic from the sharing. People always know someone that's obsessed with avocados. So they're tagging them, they're saying, hey, check this out. So that's been kind of the start. Another thing that we talked about was back several weeks ago was ambassadors, the nature of finding people that are natural leaders in a space. Every market, every demographic has folks that are leaders, and being able to put a list together and finding these folks, they're not professionals, they're not famous celebrities, but they're very influential folks that have massive like Instagram followers or Twitter followers. They have a brand that they've kind of established. If you're building a subscription business or any business really, you want to try to find out who the most influential people in your space are, connect with them, and then provide some form of product that's, what we do is we actually just hit them up and say, hey guys, we're doing an avocado subscription, we'd love to send you a box for free. And we tee it up for them, and naturally they plug us. We don't ask for any plugs or anything at all, but we give them free avocados, and they love what we're doing. So that's been the second contributor to our first little bit of success here. And again, this is it's a brand new project. So we started late spring. I'm trying to think here of all the steps. We only have 10-15 minutes before we all cut out for work. But we started very recently. We have a lot of stuff that we've learned, a lot of mistakes we made. Right now we're in California drought season. So avocados, what we pride ourselves is the size of avocados in our subscriptions. Our box is a 12 by 6 by 4 dimension box, and we fit 8 avocados in that box. And we leverage the fact that they're like large, jumbo avocados. They're really, really nice quality avocados, like A-grade avocados. California is in a really bad drought right now. So it's a commodity, right? Prices fluctuate, the sizes fluctuate. You can't guarantee your products 100% of the time. So we've had to really get resourceful and find multiple providers to try to find the biggest, best avocados every single week. The way that our business model works right now is we ship weekly. We offer, we have different types of subscription plans. So you can purchase a box and receive it every week, bi-weekly or monthly. And then we just launched a new program where you can get 4 avocados in a box for like single folks that can't consume 8, and that's going pretty well. But the biggest challenge we face is the drought so far. So it's forced us to get really kind of nimble and find new sources, working with farmers directly, working with different produce brokers, and just really trying to provide the best quality avocados as possible. We're working right now, I mentioned this to Jock actually a few weeks ago. We want to try to leverage some social entrepreneurship within our business model. Right now, every week we have extra avocados or avocados that are like seconds. They're not necessarily the premium avocados when we buy in big volumes from our brokers or from our farmers. So we're setting these aside and we're donating them to local nonprofits that are in the food process business, or they're helping folks like food banks and different types of charities. But what we want to do in the next several months is really leverage social entrepreneurship and then build in a program where we're going to be giving away, for every box sold, we're going to give away 1 avocado to the school lunch programs. And then again, our partners across the country, some of the biggest like produce brokers that we're working with, they have big facilities like in the central United States, the East Coast. We really want to leverage those partnerships and then have different schools be able to receive avocados per box. So that's an initiative that we're working on right now. Builds a little bit more value from a customer standpoint. They know that they're supporting a great cause, and we want to make that an official program. Right now it's kind of unofficial. As we have excess, we donate, but we want to build in a real official program where every box generates an avocado for school lunch programs across the country. From there, let me see, I have a few slides.
What's the price point on a monthly basis?
So it ranges based on the number of boxes delivered.
Like once a month?
Once a month. So we have a range. You can get organic or non-organic, number 1. and there's different, you could get 4 or you can get 8. So basically, like on the low side of our options, you start about $11, $11.99, all the way up to high 20s.
So
Basically.
it seems like you just started in April. Like this is going to be really interesting. What happens come Christmas season?
Absolutely.
When people want to give a gift, $150 for a year's worth of avocados.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to. So this is a bootstrap business right now, and exactly, you nailed it, Jacques. We found that when we can sell a 6-month in advance payment of avocados, like for a gift, or some people just pay it for themselves to, beat their cost of capital and making a better deal for themselves. It kind of actually fundraises for us.
Yeah, I should mention Joel was kind enough to donate a year's worth of avocados at a recent fundraiser for the Dream Foundation, which was a very well attended event and had a lot of silent auction items like some beautiful clothing, custom tailor work, and his avocado in a box yearly subscription, which retails for around $130, went for the highest of any auction item for $600. So obviously there's a demand.
People love it. People are crazy about avocados. It's surprising for us even to see it. People are really into avocados, and in kind of an emotional way. It's funny. It's cool.
I kind of wanted to bounce off of what Jacques was saying. One of the things that really got how would you say? Viral aspect of Dollar Shave Club and like Uber is the referral program. So
sure.
You give away, I think it's like $30 to another user of Uber. You get $30. Have you considered doing something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we actually have a program like that in place. For every 3 referrals that you give for boxes, for subscriptions, you get your next box for free. The prerequisite though is you have to be a customer, you have to have an active subscription, and it's all internal. We're working on an externally facing page to kind of like highlight that better. We can always do things better, right? So we're kind of learning as we go. But yes, promoting that, in our newsletter, our plugs, we're trying to make that as close to our customers as possible. So it's continually in their zone when they receive a confirmation email, with a shipping code to track their order. Hey, refer a friend. So that's definitely part of our strategy right now. I think to date, we've had probably maybe. So you have to give away 3. You have to introduce 3 folks to the subscription. They have to buy a subscription. And we've had, I think we launched it like 2 months ago. We've had several folks hit their milestones and we get us boxes. But we can be doing a much better job at promoting that for sure. And we're kind of revamping the website right now. It's always evolving. But that's a really good point. I think that's been huge for some of these other subscriptions. I know Dropbox, their idea as far as referring friends and getting more bandwidth storage, it was amazing, and that really helped their growth hack as far as scaling so quickly. So referrals are absolutely important for subscription business for sure.
Other questions?
Yeah, in terms of both your inventory and the logistics, you guys take possession and send it out on your own? Like how do you, I imagine the logistics, the shipping aspect of this is probably the biggest.
It's a challenge for sure.
And I don't worry about the expense, but that would be one of the areas where you have the most elasticity.
Yeah, good question. So luckily we're in Santa Barbara, and we're like in the avocado capital of the United States, right? So that's an advantage for us. We have a warehouse in Oxnard, California, and what we do is we physically take possession of all of our avocados every week, and we work with a team, and then we bring them to our warehouse, and we hand sort through the best avocados. And then from there, we pack them in our box and we ship them out. We have a partnership with USPS. So every day, that we're working, USPS comes, we put a big crate, a big container, or a couple pallets. We fill the pallets up, maybe 7 or 8 high, and we ship out our boxes. So it's a lifestyle business right now. I'm down in Oxnard once a week, but I'm working with our sources every single day, trying to get our avocados ready for the following week.
Do you have any in mind of kind of 1-800-Flowers sort of model for East Coast or?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So right now our best customer is an East Coast or a Midwest customer because of the lifetime value associated with that. Sure. So that's the supply and demand. They don't have access to these great avocados like we do, right? So our partners do have a network of facilities nationwide that we're going to be working with. But then again, the avocados that are out there, we question if they're quality, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like a balance. We're going to be doing a lot of testing to try to validate that their quality is as good at their other facilities as California. My assumption is that they're not, because that would mean that people can get them already out there.
Unless you wholesale to them and then let them.
Yeah, exactly. So the way that it's been working really well for us is we partner with USPS, and all of our boxes arrive within 3 business days guaranteed. So we can basically just ship them over there, and it's faster than actually shipping from the East Coast or from the Midwest. However, our costs are a lot higher for shipping, and we eat that, right? Our customers don't pay the shipping price, but like the profit margins, if we shipped East Coast, would be a lot better. But it's just a balance, right? We want to make sure our quality stays as high as possible so we can retain these customers.
A couple more questions, and then we're going to break back to networking.
Have you considered processing the avocados that don't meet the very large standards and creating a value-added product?
Absolutely, yes. We're working right now. Next phase. So I mentioned this. The social entrepreneurship is the next phase we're working on. We're working on doing a new box entirely of avocado-based products. Margins on produce are notoriously low, so you have to really play a volume game with produce. We're working to build a box that is more based on avocado products. We're going to be introducing folks to other manufacturers of these products, and then we're going to be looking at doing our own product as well over the next 6 to 12 months, and then building in a retail site that you can access these products just directly through our website and purchase. So, walk in a box for sure.
Avocado masks.
Avocado mat, absolutely. The bath and skincare industry is huge with avocado oil and avocado products, and it's kind of the same buzz between eating avocados and using avocados in different ways. So.
Time for one more question. Anybody? What's the exit strategy? Is there an exit strategy? You can keep it as a lifestyle business?
Right now it's a lifestyle product. I have another project I'm working on. I'm doing this on the side with my business partner. Exit strategy for us is just to make cash flow each month, put it back into the business, keep it growing, and then see what happens.
Awesome.
Possibly sell to a big broker or sell to an avocado supplier if that makes sense. But we're having fun doing what we're doing right now.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, one more question, Mark. Hold that.
So if I was going to start a subscription model business today with a hard product being delivered, how would you design that? How would you just test the market with like beta users initially?
I would write this down. Cratejoy.com. Cratejoy is it's a platform that puts together like the frameworks for a subscription business. That's the best, easiest way to start. They have an educational site called Subscription School, and they have amazing resources there. That's kind of what we started with, and then we've learned a lot more since then, but that's a really good resource. I would do that. For very little money, you can start like the website side, and then you can sell these proactively like a month in advance to actually go and source products after you have cash from your customers. So you can do it for very little money out of pocket and get started and test your ideas. That's probably the best way to go, is to do some testing before you really go all in on any idea to validate it. But Cratejoy, I would check out cratejoy.com and subscriptionschool.com.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you so much, Joel. And also want to give a shout out to Impact Hub. I forgot to mention, obviously we're in this gorgeous space. Thanks to Impact Hub for hosting Santa Barbara Entrepreneur, and really tremendous resource here in Santa Barbara. If you're interested in co-working space and potentially offices when they become available again, definitely talk to Dawn or one of the principals at Impact Hub. We're back in 2 weeks. Thanks for coming out.